Okay, first, I want to give all honor, praises, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, for allowing me to make this video, right? Yahweh being the true name of the Most High, Bahashem meaning in the name of, and Yahweh Shai being the true name of the Most High's only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, right? I'm going to zoom in, right? Um, this video is going to be about, this comment I received from Joshua 1. He left a comment on my video talking about how Israel's, only is going to be saved. That's the video I made. I made a video saying, Israel only is going to be saved. Other nations kick rocks, right? It's over, right? You're going to be slaves in the new kingdom. You're going to be killed, right? Simple as that, right? Now, he left this comment in my video, talking about, you're going to disregard most of Revelation. And I ended up replying to him, right? And I was like, I think his point was to show that, not only Israel's going to be saved, but then, as I said before, Revelation 7:4 talks about the nation of Israel being sealed, right? Which are the elect, right? And as I'm making my previous video, hopefully that's already uploaded already, he tells me, he comments, right? And I actually responded to him. I'll make this comment responding to him while in the midst of recording, right? But, he says I'm on YouTube sounding confused. I know King, quote unquote, Jesus is going to save Israel, but not only Israel. Go read Exodus 12:48-50. Now, before making this video, I already read this chapter, right? And this chapter is basically talking about how the Lord is commanding the Israelites to keep the Passover, right? The Passover was so when when the Lord brought the death angels, right, throughout Egypt, he was killing the Egyptians, right? Killing the Egyptians, right? So with that in mind, why the fuck would these Egyptians? Actually, let's first go to the verse, right? Let's go to the verse, so it'll make more sense, right? And when a stranger shall sojourn with you, right? This is what he means by a stranger, right? Now, before I go any further, what is a stranger? A stranger is just someone who wasn't born in the land, right? Let's get that right now. Exodus. Actually, bring up a new, right here. Exodus, right? Because what the hell is God talking about, right? What is he talking about? Exodus 12:19. Funny enough, it's I don't got to bring up a new tab. It's in the same fucking, it's in the same chapter, right? It's in the same chapter. 12:19. 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses. For whosoever eateth that which is leaven, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he be a stranger, right, or born in the land. That's a stranger, someone who wasn't born in the land, right? So you get context. Yes, it doesn't say stranger isn't born in the land, but you put two and two together. Whether he be a stranger, he's not from here, right? He's not from here. That's all it means. Born in the land. They put born in the land, so it'll make more sense, right? A stranger is just someone who wasn't born in the land. Now let's go back to talk about the Passover, right? What you read in this whole chapter, right? On how to keep it. Basically, you get a lamb, right? Your family, right? You kill the lamb, and then what would you do, right? Right here. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper door posts of the houses wherein they shall eat it, right? And they shall eat it, the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it, right? But here's the main point where it talks about, how the Lord came through with the death angels, and, was killing the fucking Egyptians, right? For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast. And against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord Yahweh, right? And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where you are. And when I shall see the blood, I will pass over you. Pass over you. Come on. And the plague shall not be upon you to destroy when I smite the land of Egypt, right? And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by ordinance forever. So again, you get the meaning of stranger. Stranger is someone who wasn't born in the land, right? Keep in mind, the Lord is sending death angels to kill the Egyptians, right? He's killing the Egyptians, the firstborn Egyptians, right? So Ask yourself, why would the Egyptians sit with us keeping the Passover after the Lord just was smiting them, right? Again, right? Here's even more proof, right? Because he's trying to say, but not only Israel, right? Okay, why does Deuteronomy, right? Let's start at 1, right? Why does Deuteronomy and Nehemiah, the 3rd chapter, right? 13th chapter, talk about how, these other nations can't enter the congregation of the Lord? Why is it that, right? Come on. He that is wounded in the stones or have his privy member cut off, shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord, right? A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Even to his 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Here's the main point. An Ammonite or Moabite, right? Both people who fucking conspired against us, by the way, right? According to Psalms 83, right? Let's get that real quick. Because, again, I don't understand why he thinks this, right? You got them spirits on that are keeping them from believing in the truth. And I don't know what nation this man is, right? I don't know what he calls him name Jesus. I don't know what, hey, all I know is that he can't be in the truth. I know that for sure, as of this moment, right? Psalms 83, right? Let's start at 1. A song or psalm of Asaph. Keep not your silence, O God. Hold not your peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, your enemies make a tumult, and they that hate you have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against your people, right? Your people, right? And consulted against your hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Who? What? Who was doing this, right? For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against you. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Jabal, Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, right? Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah, right? So, again, Moab, right? Ammon. These are the same people who conspired against us. So again, you got to ask yourself, what do you mean by saying, right? What do you mean by saying, he's not, Yahushua isn't only coming to save Israel, right? What other nation is he going to save? Because these other nations conspired against us, right? And I'm going to get into the real answer behind that question, because he's somewhat correct, right? Talking with this line only, right? But not only Israel. Okay, let's read Jeremiah. Actually, let's read Isaiah 11, right? Isaiah 11, and where is it at? Go back up. 11 to 12 to 3. This is 11, right? All right, cool. 12 to 3. No, 12 and 13. No, this is not it. What the hell? Hold up. That's why. Hold on. You see, he's trying to trick me. No, 11. I click 13. Right. There it is. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel. Right. Wait. But not only Israel, right? He's going to save Israel, but not only Israel. Who else is he going to save? And gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. So yes, I'll give a round of applause. You was correct about that, right? He's not only going to save Israel, he's going to save Judah as well, right? More proof for this. Jeremiah 23:6. In his days, Yahushua days, right? Yahushua in his days, Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. And this is the name whereby he shall be called, right? The Lord our righteousness, right? So, and when you read the book of Kings, right, basically Rehoboam was in charge of the southern kingdom. They were split, okay? Both kingdoms split. Now, the southern kingdom and northern kingdom is split. And, that's why you read that, he's going to save Judah and Israel, right? That's a nice short story for y'all, right? So, and obviously we was all scattered among, right? Because it literally says from the four corners of the earth. So both Israel and Judah was, all corners of the earth. Anyways, now we go back. So now we know that he's going to save Israel and Judah, right? And 12 and 48 through 50, that stranger is talking about what? Someone who wasn't born in the land, right? And again, go back, right? For I will pass. Actually, I already read this one. Is even more when you go down, right? Let's see. There it is, right? Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said unto them, draw out and take you a lamb according to your families and kill the Passover. And ye shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin and strike the lintel and the two side posts with the blood that is in the basin. And none of you shall go out at the door of his house until the morning. Why? Because the Lord was sending death angels and killing the Egyptians, right? And literally says it in the next couple verses, right? In this verse right here, for the Lord Yahweh will pass through to smite who? Smite the Egyptians. And when he seeth the blood upon the lintel, right? Go back to the verse, right? Strike the lintel and the two side posts, right? See the blood upon the lintel and the two side posts, the Lord Yahweh will pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyer to come in unto your houses to smite you. And ye shall observe this thing for an ordinance to you and to your sons forever. Right? And it shall come to pass when ye be come to the land which the Lord Yahweh will give you, according as he hath promised. Wait a minute. See, he hath promised. Who did he promise? Right? Who did he promise? The Israelites, man. You even get a hint of that, right? Well, not even a hint. You get the whole thing, right? Shit, throughout multiple parts of the Bible, but to pull one precept out, Romans 9th chapter, right? Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of God and the promises, right? Promises, man. So now, was I was in this one? Yeah, as he has promised. Who was promised, right? Who was promised? The Israelites were, man. You gotta really ask yourself, why the fuck would the Egyptians? Why would a strange? Why? Because he probably thinking strangers means different nations, right? These other nations conspired against us. So why the fuck would they be sitting with us today or even back then, keeping the Passover? It makes no fucking sense, right? Now, not only did it say that in what was it? Deuteronomy 23, right? It says this in Nehemiah the 13th chapter, right? Let's get that. Let's quote it there as well. This guy's a fucking meathead. Right? He's a meathead, bro. What are you talking about? Right? First three verses. On that day, they read in the book of Moses, right? The book of Moses, Exodus, right? Come on, man. In the audience of the people, and therein was found written that the Ammonites and the Moabites should not come into the congregation of God forever, because they met not the children of Israel with bread and with water, but how Balaam against them, that he should curse them, howbeit our God, which is Yahweh, right, turn the curse into a blessing. Now it will come to pass, when they heard the law, that they separated from Israel all the mixed multitude, right? So, what is this guy trying to say? Right? What is he trying to say? And again, it even talks about, when you have children, right? Look. And it shall come to pass, when your children shall say unto you, what mean ye by the service? Till this day, because the Passover was a couple weeks ago, right? A lot of weeks ago, right? And ye shall say, it is a sacrifice of the Lord Yahweh's Passover, who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt when he smote who? The Egyptians, and delivered our houses, and the people bowed the head in worship. Right? And again, now let's finish off, right? And the children of Israel went away and did as the Lord had commanded Moses and Aaron, so did they. Right? Look, again. And did as the Lord had commanded. The Lord is telling the Israelites to keep the Passover, man. And it came to pass that at midnight, what happened? The Lord smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sat on his throne, unto the firstborn of the captive that was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of cattle. Right, and what happened as a result? Pharaoh said, get the fuck out. Right, he told the Israelites, hey, go leave, get out. And Pharaoh rose up in the night, he and all his servants, and all the Egyptians. And there was a great cry in Egypt, for there was not a house where there was not one dead. Right? And he called for Moses and Aaron by night and said, rise up and get you forth from among my people, both ye and the children of Israel, and go serve the Lord Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai as ye have said. So again, to end off, strangers who? Right? A stranger is someone who wasn't born in the land. Right? These other nations, according to Deuteronomy 23, verses 1 to 3, and Nehemiah 13, chapter 1 to 3, they are not allowed in the congregation of the Lord. Right? And these Egyptians weren't either. They was being killed. Why the fuck would these other nations sit down for us and keep the Passover for? Right? They're not even the chosen people. Right? They're conspired against us, according to Psalms 83. Right? So, come on. And yes, he's not only going to save Israel, he's going to save Israel and Judah, according to Jeremiah 23:6, Isaiah 11:12 through 13. Right? Those both of the nations, right? Both kingdoms were separated. Right? What happened? Right? Rehoboam was in charge of who? The southern kingdom. Jeroboam was in charge of who? The northern kingdom. That's why when you read Isaiah 11th chapter, right? What is this? Where is it at? Right? The next verse, right? The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Right? Here's the main point. Ephraim, which is the northern kingdom, shall not envy Judah, the southern kingdom. Right? So put in context, northern kingdom shall not envy the southern kingdom, and the southern kingdom shall not hate Ephraim, the northern kingdom. Okay? Come on. Well, vex. Let's see what vex means, because I said hate. What does vex mean? Right? Vex mean, okay, it's just not, give me the definition. Right? Make someone feel annoyed, frustrated, right? Anger, right? Cause distress to. So, Judah should not have, should not be angry with Ephraim, the northern kingdom, right? So there you have it. With that, I want to give all honor, praises, and glory unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushua for allowing me to make this video, right? Lord willing, you edified. Lord willing, you see me in the next. Stay strong in the faith. You Israelites out there, right? Return and repent back unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushua while He is near, because it's going to become a time where He's not going to be found no more. He's going to hide His face from y'all, and He's going to bring all these fucking, as you've seen in my other video, right? In these last days, He's going to bring famine, pestilence, death, and destruction in the sword, right? And this is all going to take place. And these wild beasts are going to be running rampant throughout the land as well. You're going to be seeing shit you've never seen before, right? Get right with the Lord, man. Get right with Yahweh Basham Yahushua. And with that, I'm going to stay strong. Shalom. Shalom.